Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Saturday and another LinkedIn Live or Facebook Live, depending on which platform you're joining in from. Can I quickly have somebody tell me that they can hear me so that I just can do a quick sound check? Just anyone type in the comments. Well, I'm going to assume that you can hear me. It goes smoothly every week, so hopefully this week will go pretty smooth as well. So today's topic is to talk about parenting through difficult times. And as parents, right now, it's challenging for all of us, really. I know that I'm having challenges with my daughters. My girls are 20 years old and 15 years old. And last week, my younger daughter had a very difficult time. She was just having all these tough questions, like, "Mom, is this what my teenage life is going to look like? Are we just going to be living through the pandemic? It's really difficult. I can't see my friends. I can't see, people that I care about. I can't go to school." And it was really challenging for her. And in that moment, a part of me wanted to just gather her and take away all her pain and solve the problem. But I myself felt very helpless because how can I solve her problem? Like, there's no solution, right? I can't make the pandemic go away. I can't reopen schools. I can't really do anything. And as parents, it's very natural for us to get into like fixing mode because we as parents, we want to take away the pain for all our children, right? We want to give them the best life possible. We want to really just not have them suffer. It's really hard for us to see that. um, but at the same time, it's important for in those moments to realize that they don't necessarily need fixing of the problem. In fact, they often just need us to hold them, hold space for them, validate them, share openly their concerns and what they're feeling, and just help them process through that difficult moment that they're experiencing. So I had to really in that moment pause and reflect on, okay, my what does my daughter need from me right now? She knows I can't make the pandemic go away. She knows I can't send her back to school. She knows that I can't really solve anything right now. But what she really needs is for me to hold space for her and validate her and love her and help her feel better through that moment, through that difficult moment. So we just hugged, we cuddled, she cried a bit, we talked about things. I shared how I was feeling as well, which helped her feel not alone. And after about an hour or two, she was fine and she was like, "Yeah, you know what it is. We're going to get through this together." And her optimism was back. Right. So that moment really taught me some very important lessons. And I thought, if I'm going through this as a parent, I'm sure there's so many of us out there who are also struggling to really help our children through these difficult times. So I thought it would be a very timely topic for today's live to talk about that and how. What tips can we use? What some strategies are to really help our children through times like these? So I'm going to talk about, just some strategies I came across that have helped me. Feel free to type your comments and your suggestions and things that have come up for you that might be helpful for everybody else. And if you're going to watch this later as a recording, please share in the comments below. I always keep checking my comments, and I will incorporate that in a post next week or something, or we can have another LinkedIn live to chat about it as well. So first of all, I think it's really important for us to be transparent with our children, right? And they hear about COVID everywhere. We turn on the news, we talk to friends, they play video games, and they're always just hearing a lot about COVID, about Corona, about isolation, about quarantining, about travel restrictions. It's everywhere around us, right? So we can't really shield our children from it. We can't like say, okay, this is something that we just are not going to talk about. This is a no topic because I want to, because, and sometimes we tend to do that as parents, right? We want to take away certain topics of conversations because we don't want to expose our children to that. But actually, it's all around. They're already exposed anyway. So talking openly about it is the first step. Like we want to talk openly. We have to be willing to talk to them. They will already have heard something. So silence and secrets, they don't protect our children. In fact, they take away the toolkit that they need to be able to keep themselves emotionally and mentally healthy. So openness and honesty, that does protect our children. That helps our children. So think about how much they will understand depending on their age. Like I have teenagers, so obviously, they're always on the internet and we talk about it openly. But for those of you who have little kids, I'm just putting myself in the shoes. When my children were little, they probably won't understand the nuances and the news of it, but it's important to still be honest and open with them that, guys, this is what's going on and this is how we're going to manage through it as a family. Right. So be open and honest, and also listen. So when they're telling us about, mom, dad, this is what's going on, right? Someone said this to me at school. Someone, at my school got COVID, and now they are, um, now they're isolating, and I'm really worried, right? And we're busy as parents, we, especially when we're working from home and things, and we're just hearing about COVID all the time around us. We don't want to hear about it all the time, but sometimes our child might come up, oh, my friend had this. And but imagine if it's so big for us, for a child, how big this thing is. Like one of their friends got COVID, for them it's like, it seems like the end of the world. Or their school is shutting down, their entire world has been at school, and now that's shut down. So now we're back in lockdown. Like how do they feel? Their feelings are very, very big, right? So we want to be able to hold space with them and being open and listen to them, asking them open questions, like how much they already know, how much have they found out, what happened to their friend, how do they feel about not being able to go to school. And sometimes all they need is to really just let out those feelings. Again, get away from fixing mode and go into listening mode. Being honest about our feelings also helps a lot, because sometimes children are just looking for that validation. Like, what I'm feeling, is this normal? Like, what I'm feeling, is this right? um, I'm having these really sad thoughts. I'm feeling really, really sad. uh, is that okay? Because we live in a society where there's a lot of what I call toxic positivity. We're always told to be super happy. We're always told to be upbeat and optimistic. And so children grow up thinking that's what they have to be. And even as parents, we like, well, I just want you to be happy. We say that to our parents. We say that to our children so many times. I just want you to be happy. So children sometimes feel that they don't have permission to feel sad. But sadness is a very normal emotion, and we're all feeling sad and we're all feeling strapped out right now. So children are too, right? So if they don't have the permission to feel sad, or if they feel they don't have the permission to feel sad, then that is not going to be healthy for them. So asking them how they're feeling and being honest about how we're feeling, that, yeah, you know what, that's what I did with my daughter last week when she was having that tough moment. I told her, yeah, I'm feeling these feelings too. I'm really sad too. I'm worried too. Like, like I'm very confused with all these back and forth restrictions, and it's really making me sad and worried as well. Right. So she felt like, yeah, my mom's feeling this way too. So I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one going through this. Right? Yeah, exactly, Shelley. Different ways of handling sadness and depression, because it's really all about being honest and being supportive. And then children feel validated that, yeah, I'm not, what I'm feeling is normal because my mom is feeling that way, or my dad is feeling that way. We're all feeling that way. So we're not alone. And what's the biggest thing that helps us get through difficult times is that feeling of not being alone, right? So making our children feel that they're not alone in their big feelings and emotions and sadness is extremely important. Also being supportive, so your child may be confused or scared, giving them space to share how they're feeling, and then let them know that you're there for them. Vocalize that. Like, we sometimes think, our children know we're there for them. Of course they know that, right? We're their parents, right? But it's important to actually say it, because saying it helps them internalize it, and it helps validate it for them. So I always tell my children, like, I'm here for you. Anytime you need to talk, just I'm available. I will drop everything else that I'm doing and I will be there and listen, and I will hug you. I will hold you. I will, whatever I need to do. Right. So let them know that you're there for them. Let them know that they are the number one important thing, that and no matter what, because sometimes children feel hesitant. Oh, my mom's so busy, my dad's so busy, they're so stressed out. I don't want to make them more stressed out by dumping my feelings on them, especially as children get to like that preteen teenager. Like my daughter, my younger daughter, for example, she's 15, and she has a lot of that because she's a true empath. Like by nature, she's just a very, very caring person. So she doesn't want to hurt other people. She doesn't want to stress other people, especially her family, because she loves us so much. So it's really important to keep reiterating to your children every single day almost, how are you feeling? I'm here for you. Let me know what your thoughts are. And sometimes it feels like, why should I repeat myself every day? But actually it's really important because children need to hear that over and over again. So asking them as well, and maybe even carving out some time, every day or every week, just to be able to have these feeling conversations like, okay, so how was today for you? What came up? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to, how do you want to deal with it? Right? If some sadness is coming up, sometimes we think talking about it helps, but they might actually don't want to talk about it, and that's okay too. So you might want to think of something else to do together. Maybe you can go for a walk or watch a movie or any other kind of distraction to be able to just help them manage those feelings. And also, it's okay to not know the answers, because as parents, oftentimes children look up to us because they think we have all the answers. But letting them know that I don't know. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how long this pandemic will go on. I don't know when schools will reopen. I don't know when you're going to be able to see your friends again. Right. But this is something my daughter has been saying, because in Ontario here, we're back in kind of a lockdown, and now, schools are reopening on Monday, but she's not, she's not eligible to get her booster shot yet. So she feels concerned about going to school, but on the other hand, she wants to go. So she has all these questions, which I don't have the answers to. So it's, for me, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to like give her false information and expectations. So I just say, I don't know. I feel confused as well. But guess what? As soon as we know, we'll talk about it and we'll figure it out, right? And making sure that they're joint decisions. So, for example, I try to refrain from saying, "Oh yeah, you're going to go to school on Monday," or "You're not going to go to school." No, it's about sitting down, talking about it, and coming with a joint decision, so they don't feel that any decision is being shoved down their throat. It's really about being joint and being collaborative in that, because they're the ones who are being affected. So making sure we talk about them and making those cordial conversations to come to decisions that are healthy. Also, making sure that we're understanding that there's a lot of stories going on, there's a lot of misinformation going on out there, right? So making sure that we're really talking to our children about how some stories that they hear on the news might not be true, right? So using trustworthy sites to get your information. If they're reading something on the internet, helping them understand and decipher what might be right and what might not be right. Helping them figure out what is true information versus what is misinformation. Right now, we know in COVID, there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around. There's a lot of different, things that are not entirely true, right? So wherever you get your credible information from, share that with the children as well. So we usually go to like, trustworthy sites. We want to be able to, like, as a medical student, I get information from my medical school that is like super vetted and checked out. So I usually share that with the children instead of just relying on random news sources, because sometimes they may get it right, sometimes they may not, right? So it's really important to really help them decipher true information from misinformation. And then also, whatever conversation you're having, end it on a good note. Try to make it more positive. Try to reinforce positive behavior, like, what can I do to help? Or here's something we can do to make it better going forward. Perhaps maybe come up with new family routines that, every day we're going to go for a walk. Well, I mean, right now in Toronto, it's extremely cold. We're in a minus 30 degrees wind chill day today. So going for a walk is not really an option. But Shelly, you shared a great tip here. Choose music on Spotify and have a dance it. That's amazing. Dance it out time. And in fact, my friend told me about what they do is as a teacher is like dancing out feelings. So we can even just dance out our feelings, like whatever we're feeling. Okay, we're angry, stomp our feet and dance out our anger, or we're happy, so do a happy dance, or whatever we're feeling. It's important to have healthy outlets. So honey, if you share talk during dinner and try to do dinner together, amazing tip. And you're right, that consistency really really helps. So again, I have two daughters who are older, like they're teenagers, and one is actually 20, so not even a teenager anymore. But and they're both busy. They have their own days, they have their homework, they have their assignments and all of that. But one thing we always try to do is actually, like, for dinner we want to be together, we want to have dinner together, we want to talk through things. And that dinner table conversation is really really important, right? How you're portraying, how you're being able to talk about these feelings and these things that are changing all around us constantly. um, so we have to look for different and healthy outlets for that stress that actually makes sense for children. And again, children are so, like, they're so constantly and rapidly evolving, especially like even just from a 4-year-old to a 6-year-old, there's going to be different strategies, right? So what makes sense for your child? And sometimes that's a conversation, like even asking your child, how would you like to be supported? What is going to make sense for you? What is going to make you happy in this moment, right? And that could change from day to day, but giving them that space to share their input is really really important. um, and then last but not least, I just want to also talk about our own self as parents. We love our children to pieces, we would do anything for them, right? And sometimes we tend to put our needs on the back burner because of that. We want to be there for our children so much that our needs and our feelings kind of become less important. And we just kind of think, okay, you know what, I don't have time to take care of myself. I really want to be there for my children. And I know that, especially for me as a single mom, like I'm a sole support parent, I do that. I just go overboard on that thing because I feel like I have to play mom's role and dad's role. So I have to be double there for my children, which means that my needs and my feelings don't matter. But what I've learned over the years is that when we take care of ourselves as parents, we are actually modeling and role modeling that behavior for our children, because we cannot take care of our children if we're not okay, right? We have to put our own oxygen mask as well. And probably, like, first we have to put it on, otherwise we're not going to be there, be able to show up for our children in a healthy meaningful way, the way they need us to. So it's important to take care of yourself, whatever it may be, little things, and try to do that so that your children can see it too. So let's say I go for a walk, or I listen to a playlist, or I listen to audiobooks a lot. So sometimes when I'm cooking, and I love cooking, so that's kind of a healthy outlet for me. So I will be cooking and just listening to an audiobook, that models for my children that, yeah, mom is doing something for herself. And even whether it's going for a quick drive, I love driving. So sometimes I just take like a half an hour and just kind of go driving on the highway and come back. There are times I want to talk to a friend, but whatever it is that I need in the moment, sometimes even if it's just watching some show on TV that, I normally don't watch a lot of TV, but sometimes I just pick up something to watch because I just want to be able to take care of myself in that moment and feel relaxed. And the fact that my children see me doing that consistently, that tells them that it's okay for them to take care of themselves too, right? It models that self-care behavior, that our mental health, our emotional health is important, it's valid, and it comes first. So take care of yourself while we're taking care of our children, because if we're not okay, we're not going to be able to show up for our children in a healthy and meaningful way. um, and quality family time is very important. What I've learned is that, especially as being, again, a single parent and very very busy, having multiple things going on, speaking, writing, even med school, it's really hard for me to come up with like quantity of time. But what actually matters most is the quality. So let's say if I'm spending 6 hours with my children, but I'm constantly on my phone and I'm, checking emails at the same time, and a med school lecture is going on in the background, and my children don't really, they're not, I'm not really there for them, am I? I'm just there physically, but I'm not really there mentally and emotionally, and 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 so they're not really getting mom. They're just getting a bit of mom. But if I spend 1 hour with them and everything else is off, right? And I'm just completely in mom mode, and I'm really there and present and listening to their concerns and validating them, or spending time together, or doing something fun, whatever it is, right? Cooking together, or watching a movie together, or just hugging and cuddling, whatever it may be, right? I'm really there. And that 1 hour of focused, dedicated attention and time is much better than the 6 hours of just fragmented attention. And that's what children need. They need us to be present. And the way we will be present with them in that moment is actually going to make it better for them and easier for them to be able to hold that space for themselves. That, yeah, my mom is there for me. I'm important for her. That's going to show them what's important, not the quantity, but the quality and the way we're present with them. That, yes, my parent is there for me. So, I hope I've shared some strategies that have been helpful. Please share your comments and your own tips. And Shelly shared another one. Meal kits can provide time for families to talk and prepare meals together. I love that idea. In fact, we signed up for Chef's Plate, the meal service, and even HelloFresh at some point, and it really helped a lot because we are following a recipe together. One person's doing one thing, the other person's doing one thing, and we're preparing a meal together that we've never prepared because all those recipes are unique and new. And we're really talking through things and listening to good music that we all like or whatever, but it really helps bond, right? So that's a great idea. In fact, especially when children are at that age where they like playing around in the kitchen and stuff, that would really help. And both my children enjoy cooking. So one of the things, for example, last week I've been teaching my daughter, my 15-year-old, how to make omelets. So she every day she comes up with some new kind of an omelet. Like, she looks up a recipe now and she's like, oh, today I'm going to make spinach and feta, or so today I'm going to make this, right? So she's perfected omelet creation now, and now she wants to learn something else. So next week we're going to try something else. So we're just mastering one recipe every week, and that is really, like, she's like, oh my gosh, this is actually fun, I want to learn how to cook. And she feels like, this is something that we're bonding over, and we're spending so much quality time together. So it's really great. So hopefully things like these have helped. Again, keep your topics coming in, your suggestions coming in, and I will see you all next week or next weekend. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.